Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Burning Questions, and what a squad we have for you today. Scotty Ewen, he's not smiling yet, but he has a resting smile face. So look, it's already starting to move. We'll see some teeth in a moment. He's been working hard. We had to give him a couple of moments just to look after a horse. Who was the horse, Scotty, by the way? I'll welcome you in first.
5 of them, actually. Bulletproof.
You just did 5 horses. You're a very efficient man. Which 5 were they, Scotty?
Bulletproof Boy.
Yeah.
The Falcon Prince. He's Ollie. Who else you got there? Wildcard and Bulletproof Kid.
Well, Bulletproof Kid's in a derby, and he only got 5th mention. Anyway, that's okay. Andrew, you're looking in fine health. So yeah, spring has sprung, and you've got a rosy glow about your cheeks. I like the way. I like the way you're glad the footy season's over. You already told me that, but how are you, my friend?
I'm fine, Jay Bond. A bit like you last week. I enjoyed another birthday, so I'm getting older again, but probably looking younger, unlike you.
Look, I'm told constantly I look younger than 44. I have the spirit of a 22-year-old, and everyone sees it, particularly a certain gender. What jumper is that? What originals? What?
Yeah, no, it's just a work jumper. Jack and Jones, whatever the brand is. So yeah, just Gregory. His work gear is still branded. I mean, that's the key. And Jack and Jones is a reasonable brand. So, how are you, my friend? You look like you might. Have you got a little bit of a bird nose? Is that frostbite, or is it hot or cold? What's the story?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's probably a bit of frostbite. Obviously, we enjoyed a good week or so of weather there a little while back, but the last few days have been pretty cold on the hills of Murney of late.
Yeah, right. Big week for you last weekend. You were even moved to tweet. You're not a big tweeter. You don't get on the socials that often. I think you might have sat back. I think you finished Suits. I don't know what series you're on at the moment, but I think you were just sitting back maybe with a cognac because you're such a rich man, and you were just thinking about the wonder of the weekend. Is that right? Is that close?
Yeah, that's right. It was a pretty good week for the team around here, and a lot of good moments along the way. But like I said, wasn't a highlight from the Lara J crew that caused me to put that tweet out. But it was a special moment for Jamie Egan to get his first training win, and I was very happy to be a part of it.
What do you reckon, Andy? I mean, you do tweet a little bit more. That to me screamed of a tweet. Scotty will know what I'm talking about. That screamed to me of just one of those really sentimental tweets. You're penny and you just know everyone. It was a lovely thing, but a bit of looking for likes, I reckon, as well, Andy. Did you feel that way? Did you I'm such a sweet guy. That's what I cared about. I just want. Did you read it that way, Andy, or not?
Oh, not really. I think people that know that Jamie unfortunately lost a son a few years back that had a few issues. So we all know the journey that he's been on. So it was great for him to get a winner. Yeah,
he's a great man, Jamie Egan. What did you have to do that to me, Andy? Now, right, we better move on to the questions. Question number 1 of the burning questions. And we'll start with the sponsors. Because I don't know if I've got Scotty's favourite fruit. Felbo Fruits, they grow top quality table grapes on the farms of Weeman and Deliveroo. They work very closely with Premier Farms Australia. These table grapes are delivered to customers all over the world. Doesn't matter where you are. Remember, everyone eating grapes is good for you. Quickly, Scotty, I don't know if you have revealed your favourite fruit. Have you got one?
Yeah, banana, mate. I like my bananas.
I'm a nani man. Big nani man. But apparently, Josh Aiken told us once that we don't even get the best brand of, but anyway, that was a different story. We don't get good bananas anymore, unfortunately. Right, question number 1. Will Ideal lead with DEA outside him in run, or can swoopers like Cap and Stride blast past them both for fun? But first, you, Gregory. I felt the closeness between us when I texted you last night and asked why you were driving Ever Hoping, and then asked you if you could be on Burning Questions, and you just said, yeah, okay. So you can reveal the answer now. Ever Hoping, pole marking, draw, but Lark Captain is flying, so talk me through it, please.
Yeah, that's right. They're both two very nice horses. I think there's nothing wrong with Ever Hoping's form at the moment. It's a very solid third behind Celestio Matuka in the size in the Brickbred final last time around, and I thought his run was full of merit. So we all know that at this level of racing that more often than not, Melton Racing is pegs dominated, and he's got a peg line draw.
Where will he be in the run, Gregory?
I'm thinking leaders back. I would imagine that scenario that you just mentioned is probably the most likely. He gets out the gate okay, can hold his own without being super quick. So I would expect Darryl probably to be too quick at the start. And if he holds the front, which I would expect him to do, then I think Ever Hoping won't be too far out of the money.
So you're expecting that Mighty Flying Up won't have a crack to try and sort of create a bit of clear air for Ideal Escape to get across. Is that your thought process? Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would make life easier for Ideal Escape if Mighty Flying Art doesn't sort of run the gate. I know he'll probably, if he does cross me, he'll probably want to hand up pretty quick to stablemate. But having said that, if he's out the way, then he'll get the front even easier, I'd imagine.
Can the captain win? Because of a certain moron did tip him on top.
Oh, he's a chance the way he's going. He's going racing in very, very good form at the moment. He is when he draws the back row, he needs a few favours to go his way. More often than not, his best races are run when he's on the fence. So I can't see him being on the fence the way this race is unfolded. But the way he finished off last week at Kilmore behind Outlaw Man in track record time shows that the horse is racing very, very well. And if he gets a good trip in transit, I don't see why he couldn't be a blowout chance up the straight.
You pump the tyres of Celestio Matuka and Outlaw Man, so we won't get to Andy straight away. I have been known to have auditory hallucinations at times. I can hear something in the... Can we all hear? Yeah, we can all hear it. It's not just... It might just be me. Scotty, what are your thoughts on this race? Who do you think will win? Third event on the program just before the big ones?
Look, it's a few and got chances, I think. You're right. And even Terry's goes pretty good, and but where it's going to be there from 4 is another question, I suppose. But probably the same. Ever Hoping from the pole's got to be a big chance. If it sits on the Ideal Escape's back, and I was wrapped with like Captain last week. He beat me home. I got sort of in a bit of shuffle up, but got home from last and on the fence, of course. But in track record time, I thought it was pretty good. So I reckon it'd be hard to hold off.
Do they competitively work together at home, Gregory?
No, not really. But yeah, they work.
Whenever anybody pauses, by the way, when they answer a question, that means they're like, it's like the Seinfeld thing, the higher on your face, that the more of a lie it is. Don't want to tell him. No, they've never. Who's the better horse?
Ever Hoping's a lot stronger. Like Captain's a lot faster. So you can make your mind up who's the better horse from that.
No, I can't. Andrew, talk me through your thoughts.
Yeah, I think Ideal Escape lead, and I don't think the stablemate will come out. He did leave pretty quick last week. So I was 7 out wide, and it's probably I haven't seen gate speed from him before. So I think he's going to be first. Greg's going to be in a prime position. I think going to be pretty tough to beat. And District Attorney, I don't think he'll go forward. I think he'll go back initially, and I think they'll survive it just with one run at the stage of.
All right. Given that this has basically been a celebration of the Andy Gath stable early, who's the best out of Celestio Matuka, Outlaw Man, and Terry on ability?
Outlaw Man.
Now, of course, you're going to say that. No, but what did you actually think early doors?
Outlaw Man. I don't know Celestio Matuka.
Huh?
I don't even train Celestio Matuka now. It's moved. Ask Greg.
Oh, you move them on pretty quick, I know. I've seen the way you operate, son. Outlaw Man does seem better now, it would appear. Right, question number 2. More sponsored. Sulky app. Aren't they wonderful? The Nuremberg family. Combining the power of results and horse sectionals with Sulky app in capital letters, you now have access to gate speed, swooper ability and behaviour ratings. Never miss a trainer, driver or gear change again. Sulky app is a form guide revolution. Sign up at sulky.app. Scotty, as you're having a sip, is that tea or coffee, by the way? That's a coffee?
Coffee, yep.
White with one?
Pretty much, yep.
Scotty, tell me this. Do you check the section? Are you a sectional checker?
I do check the sections, but I didn't check last week, so don't ask me.
I was going to ask you. I don't check them really myself, but it's a wonderful tool. I don't care if you flew home in 8.7 seconds. If you're going to be back where you were, that's my opinion. Question number 2. If Boy can lead and pinch a split while Wave is turning right, could the Warhorse beat the Star or still an unfair fight? Now, there was a dress rehearsal for this, Scotty Ewen, called the My Lightning Blue Free-for-All. You led, and then Catch a Wave just came up, just bolting up, went straight past you, and you fought back, and there was only a neck between you at the finish, but you had to run a relatively quick first quarter. Can you turn the tables, as Adele would say?
Turn the tables, I'd like to think I could. Catch a Wave's a great horse. With a bit of trouble in his way, maybe, or if I don't have to burn so hard to get the front, maybe. We might have a bit more in the tank at the end, but look, he's a great horse, and even Greg's horse has got a chance. Drawn behind me, he's going to follow me out. So it depends on Mr. McDonough, I suppose. So on how much I got to get across is how I'll be travelling at the end.
You'll just blast past Blitzen, won't you?
I think so, but races are races.
That's the first time Alan McDonough's ever been called, AMAC's ever been called Mr. McDonough. I mean, this is a huge. Nice. Greg knows it pretty well. That's a huge. Mr. McDonough.
Great play.
Now, just quickly, Scotty, before I move on to the other two, will you get a start in the Big Cup? Do you want one?
I think so. I remember 2 years ago, I told you when I won the Smoken Up Sprint that I didn't want to put him in a race like that. And I think it's done in the world of good because I think he's going best he's ever gone, to be quite honest. Look, I'm willing to have a crack. He's once again, you have to draw the pole or a good alley to be a hope in it. But, if they're willing to give me a run, I'm happy to go in it for sure.
We'll get to the other two. Paul Oxenford's only about a couple of offices away from me. I'm just going to leave for a moment and just find out whether you're any hope. I don't want you to have fun. Andy, your thoughts here, please.
Yeah, I'm not telling Scotty what to do, but if he's worried about crossing blitzing, he can go straight behind it because Catch a Wave will be getting off its back straight away. Just makes life easier for you.
He's not telling you what to do, Scotty, but he kind of is telling you.
I'm trying to box. I understand.
He's a great horse, bulletproof boy, and you think he's going to lead. I think he'll lead and going to probably be, probably pedestrian first quarter. So it's going to make it pretty tough for our bloke. I'm pretty happy where he's at. He's come back from Sydney and he seems back to his best. He trialled really good, so he seems really sharp. It's not going to be an easy gig for him, but I think he's still good enough to get the job done.
Didn't know he was a musician. He's having a gig. I'll bring my guitar. Tell me this, just Kate. So Kate and Catch a Wave. Just Catch a Wave. What's his stable name, by the way?
Tex.
All right. Sweet. So Kate and Tex are close enough that she knows exactly when to pull the trigger, or you two have some very closed pre-race chats where you get real close. As close as you do at home, probably. But tell me, will you be saying take off at the 400 or the 300 or the 600 or where?
Well, it's all tempo related, but he's a horse that can make up ground pretty quick. Depends how easy Scotty's had it in front. If he's had it too easy, Kate might have to go around earlier and sit outside him. So just be an open mind, but I'd say we'll be getting early. So if you can just get out of the way, Greg, make it a little bit easier for us, it will help.
I hate asking this question, Andy, but it has to be asked. You've got a big race next weekend. Is he absolutely 100% there to win?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, it's a $50,000 race, and he shouldn't take him for granted. He's there to do his best, and the run will do him good regardless of what type of run he has. So he'll be driven accordingly.
If I keep tipping losers on the Harness Charity Challenge, given that I've decided to have those investments myself, I might need some of that 50,000. Gregory, 888, where is he compared to his absolute best? Where do you end up, and can you win the race?
Look, no, I don't think he can win the race, but it wouldn't surprise me to see him running the money somewhere. I think it seems nowadays he runs his best races over the short course. He proved that, a couple of starts back there. He ran a couple of placings close up in 51.5 or thereabouts, which is probably as good as he's ever gone in his career, really, time-wise. Luckily, the way the race has fallen, it looks like he's going to get a pretty good run in transit, but I think he needs it for where he's at this point in time to say he can figure in the finish. Catch a Wave's clearly the one to beat. For mine, Bulletproof Boy is just an absolute marvel and just one of my favourite horses to race against. And I've had the privilege to drive him a couple of times before, and he just has a never say die attitude. And like Scotty said, he seems to be going as good as ever, probably better than ever, really, this time around. So if he's in front and doing his thing, we know he'll run a really strong mile. Catch a Wave's still the class horse of the field and the one to beat for my eyes, but luck in running can certainly get favourites beat from back row draws at Melton, which we've seen plenty of times before. So they won't want anything to go wrong. But the sheer speed that he's got, if he's anywhere near close enough when he needs to be, he's still the winner for mine.
I've said it before, Scotty. If you don't love Bulletproof Boy, you don't love life. Something's going a bit wrong. And I've got a slight degree. I'm happy to talk to people. If they don't like Bulletproof Boy, if they don't love him, you'd be happy. If you had to lose to somebody, Andy, you'd be happy to lose to Bulletproof Boy, surely.
Yeah, no. Not an issue if Scotty beats us. We'll be right.
It's almost arrogant. Pride's Easy Feeder, another sponsor. They're a proud supporter of the harness racing industry, and they have set recipe. They don't muck around with it. Spaghetti bolognese, angel hair, dolmio, red wine and herbs, like I have. And quality ingredients. That's not what Pride's Easy Feeder. To give trainer confidence in what they're feeding. So make the switch to Pride's and start getting the results you've been chasing. I'll get to Paul in a moment, Scotty, so I'll find out for you. In classic qualifiers, will the journey play a role or will we witness 4 long contests where they simply stroll? Greg, I'll go to you first because you might have something to say here. You spoke glowingly about the real Sherlock. Do we fire out in the second heat of the Woodland Stud Victoria Derby Series for 2023 from the Wide Gate?
Probably not. Unfortunately, these long-distance races, when they're only heats for a bigger race the following week, they're more often than not, they are pedestrian run races, and the last quarter is always the quickest, and we kind of saw that in the race that he won there the other week, that even though it was a small field, it was a pretty boring race up until the last 400 metres, where I think we ran, so I'm told, the fastest last quarter ever ran home at Melton. So pretty happy with where he's at, the real Sherlock, but he's going to have to earn it if he's to win tomorrow night from the wide draw with some very good quality horses drawn to his inside. So I think it's going to be a good contest late, but the majority of the race I think will pretty lackluster.
Scotty, the distance says 2,760 metres, but will it be more like a 2,240 metre race or even maybe an 800 metre race? Do you reckon? All 4 contests, pretty much.
Yeah, that's right. I just don't think there'll be too many moves made at any great speed, but they may just do a little bit to sort themselves out early, but then the fireworks will be left till late in the race.
That question was for Scotty, but he's been. I'll tell you what, Scotty, you have been one of the great ventriloquists. I saw you with David Straussman one night at Crankers, and you're very Scotty. What do you reckon? They're just going to walk around?
Look, I think so. I mean, with the lost form, when I saw it drawn 1, I thought, it's probably put a dampener on the race in the way that it's going to get its own way, and run home and bloody 53 or something stupid, and then 25 was the last quarter. So I can't see it getting beat, but I still reckon the real Sherlock will run a great race, and getting in the final, who knows, if he gets a better draw than him, then it could turn the tables.
Andy, since they've gone on a long trip a few years ago, and I advocated for this,
There's been 15 qualifiers for the Derby and the Oaks and 11 litres of 1 and 2 behind leader, so 13 litre behind leader. But tell me this, riddle me this one, Jack and Jones. If you were in that race and you drew well with a horse with gate speed, would you have a crack at getting across the lost door?
Well, the problem is if you don't get across, you're in awful trouble. And the problem with these long races, the longer the race it is, the harder it is to sit one off the fence. So that's why there's no moves. That's why they're yawn fest. That's why they're so boring to watch. And this is going to be the case. It's going to be 4 boring races on Saturday night. And that's the way it is. It just mathematically, horses go so much faster these days that you don't see many horses in the death and win the longer the race gets.
I wish you'd just speak your mind, Andy. I hate it when you hold back. I hate it when you just open up for me at some point.
Back the 1,200 metre races, I'm back in the 2,700 metre races. So,
what are we left with? Okay, very quickly, one word answer from all of you. Greg, would you have heats of these series or would you abandon them? Oh,
One word.
I forget it. Think of it. I was going to call 000.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I think you still need heats.
I didn't expect that. Scotty, would you have heats or just bugger them? We're just wasting money and going to a final. And you've got to earn your way into a final.
I think the heats are good for the fact that sometimes a lesser horse or bad draw, and you get a good draw, you can still win a heat. Where if you've got real good horses and they just go into a big race, you might not get as much out of it as a rule. But I think heats are good.
Andy, honestly, after what you just said, if you say you want heats as well, God bless America and everything that it stands for, the Constitution. Yeah.
I don't think we should have heats, and I think most of us would pick the fields for the Oaks and the Derby already on what we can already look at the fields now. So we probably know what the final fields are going to be, but I'm happy if we have a couple of prelude races lead up for horses that, if they do win, the automatic runners. So it gives those lesser horses an opportunity to maybe qualify for it.
Instead of just that one the other day, that was an ultra exciting race where the real Sherlock apparently ran the fastest last quarter in the history of the world. David. That was fantastic. I loved it so much. Right, final question. This is more a philosophical one, team. Who believes that we should see the Oaks and Derby heats? Are they too lopsided, or is randomness just neat? I reckon, Scotty, you wouldn't want them seeded because I would imagine, knowing your soul and character, that you would like the idea that maybe you can sneak into a weaker heat and get through to a final and have that experience of being in a Group 1 Derby or an Oaks, but I've been wrong before 3 times. Talk me through.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's to an owner, it's a great thrill just to be in a final, even though you've got no hope. If you can be in a Derby field, well, that's a plus or a feather in your cap as a trainer as well. So I think it's great. Yeah.
Would you see them, Gregory? Don't have another stroke, but if your eyes go up again, I know where you live. Would you see them or not?
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I can see pros and cons to either way we go. So I'm sort of sitting on the fence on this one, but it is very frustrating. I know from a trainer's point of view and driver's point of view when you run in any of these sort of heat and final situations when they don't split your drives or your horses, and that can be frustrating. But even just from a contest that with all the good ones or the majority of the good ones end up in one heat, and more often than not they're going to qualify anyway. But there is certainly a strong argument for splitting the best ones, when you can.
Yeah, splitting the splinters in your gluteus maximum. Will give us something. Is non-pareil immoral? Very frustrating.
No, she's never immoral. In a one-horse race, I'm still not confident she could get the job done, but she looks well placed on paper, but doesn't make her immoral.
Will you be trying to lead with the first dance?
Yes.
Can you lead? Will you lead?
Yes, I think I can, and I'm certainly happy to stay there as long as I can.
He's come back hard, hasn't he, Andy? He was in a lot of trouble there. He just couldn't make his mind up with a couple of those, but they're burning questions, not simmering smolder. Andy, I would seed them personally because I like the idea of the real big guns meeting only in the final. So even if we're going to keep heats, I like the idea of you go out and do your business and then we'll have the big guns meet in the final. And it's also concerning when there's going to be at least one really good horse miss out in the final. And I don't know if that's great, but maybe you do.
Yeah, depends who sees them, whether they're seated on prize money or it's done through the handicapping. Last year, Captain Ravish and Leap to Fame went head-to-head in the heat, and they come out head-to-head in the final. So that probably enhanced the derby that year. So there are pros and cons. I know he's 151. I got cool 90 in, but he's in by far the hardest heat. Way it goes sometimes, but it's frustrating for certain drivers that drive horses throughout their career, and then they've got to clash in the same race, and they've got to pick and choose, and even trainers as well. So, yeah, I don't know whether they do trainer splits and owner splits in these heats. I know they don't in the Breeders' Crown and the Vic Red, but I'm pretty sure they do in this. So, but they're lopsided, both of them, Saturday night.
It was a lot, and I felt a little bit of pain. Did anybody feel Andy's pain? He was really cogitating, and I don't. Right, best bets, please. I'm going to go with Sahara Breeze as my best bet, even though Greg's going to lead with them. How good is that horse, by the way, Gregory?
First dance. I think she's quite a handy filly, and she's going to be an even better mare as she gets older. She's relatively lightly raced, and she's come back far better this time around than what she was sort of early in the year. So we think she's got a very bright future.
5 for 5 when she's been in front in easier races. Right. Now, think about this carefully, Scotty, you as well. You can just have Bulletproof Boy if you want, but I'll go to Gregory first because I reckon the tab are putting up specials based on these at the moment. I feel like I'm carrying them very heavy. Gregory, best.
I'm going with First Dance, so I'll take you on there. We'll go head-to-head.
Sit on the Friday form panel. I was waiting to hear what you'd say. You've really... Scotty, best.
Look, I'm not going to say Bulletproof Boy. He's got a hard task still with Andy's horse, I think. And I just hit a lot of storms tomorrow, so I'm just going to go safe.
I like that. Have you got much more work to do today, Scotty?
No, but I'm hungry.
What are you having? What are you going to have?
Subway.
With a couple of bananas inside.
4 kilos in a month.
Have you?
Yeah.
Just don't turn out like Jared. That didn't turn out too well. You can watch the documentary on Netflix. Jared did some bad things afterwards. He was a bad guy in the end. Andy, best bet?
Yeah, no, I found it pretty tough to find the best bet, so I'll just stick with Catch a Wave.
At least Greg and I are making it exciting. Hey, well done, everybody. We've got to stop right now because the Subway is arriving via Uber Eats, and we don't want to keep Scotty waiting. He's already lost some weight, and we don't want him to lose any more. Well, we want him to eat. Au revoir. Thank you for joining me. It's been a wonderful edition of Burning Questions, and hopefully we all find winners, but we can't. Only 3 of the 4 of us can because Greg and I are going head-to-head, and I feel like normally when we argue I win, but here I think I'm going to lose. Au revoir. Well done, team.